That's okay. Right. Shall we get started? Should we do it? Let's do this. Well, thanks very much for coming. Not quite as popular as the last chap. Always a sad thing to see. But my name's John Pudney. As you'll have heard from the last presentation, should you have been here, I work for TIP. I'm head up the membership team and also the TIP Academy team. So if there's anything on those areas you need to talk to me about, feel free. But what I'm here today to talk about is introducing the TIP Academy, which we officially launched 4.5 weeks ago now. So it's still a baby, really, but it's gone extremely well already. But I just want to give you a bit of background as to where we're up to and what we're doing with it. So the whole idea behind TIP Academy was our job at TIP is fairly simple, in the most difficult way possible. All we have to do is bring open technologies through networks to the globe as quickly as possible. A really simple job. So our job is therefore just to facilitate and accelerate how that happens. And the feedback we were getting from the participants and the members within the group was that there needed to be some kind of vendor-neutral training. So something that people could get together and work behind to get to that common goal of creating open technologies throughout the networks that we work across. So we worked with our partners at Accenture to launch this program 4.5 weeks ago. It's pretty simple what it means for your teams, really. There's 4 main areas. There's one that's about upskilling. Upskilling is really, really important. One of the things we often talk about in learning, and I'm a talent development director by background alongside some other roles, is that it's not just about upskilling in terms of learning things. The great thing about learning is also sometimes about remembering what you're doing. It's about having that common language with people and really understanding the challenges that happen, whether you're a startup, whether you're a network, whether you're an system integrator, and really creating that commonality and making sure everyone's got the same skill level or the same common language to understand what it is that they're talking about and what it is they need to achieve. The other thing that helps for you on the team is also in that terms of attraction, because not just attraction in terms of bringing on highly skilled workers, it's always a good thing to have in your back pocket when recruiting, but it's also about creating highly skilled workers within your company. And then it also helps attract people towards you because they know that you've invested in training. They know that you're interested in actually getting towards that common goal of not just the theoretical part of Open RAN and open technologies, but actually that real-world deployment part of it. And it's a great way of kind of raising your hands during RFPs, any kind of request for information, so saying, well, we've been doing this training, and it makes it clear that we can add value to your company because we understand this, this, and this. So it's a great way of attracting both ways in that. It also helps in terms of retention. As I say, I'm from background, a talent development director. 94% of teams say that relevant training, and that's the key word, relevant training, actually encourages them to stay at companies and actually increases their engagement within an organization. And that's what real relevant training can become. Because, once again, there's a lot of training in the background, and I've been guilty of this in my own past. You kind of go, I need a program for the team. I need something for the guys to do. It's a bit of a box-ticking exercise. HR are after me. What is it we need to do? And, you go out and pay someone thousands of pounds to turn up 3 times a year and do some training. What this is actually about is creating relevant training for people. So it's actually something they can use in their jobs. And the reason that that's important is because ultimately it leads to certification and promotion throughout TIP. At the end of each learning module, you'll receive a certification to say you're now qualified, you're competent within a certain area. But then as TIP, our own company, we'll then promote you throughout our social channels. We'll actually speak about you within the community and actually build up your profile within organizations. So it really helps build up all those kind of areas. The curriculum has been based on what industry leaders have been telling us they want to do. And the reason for that is they want to create more industry leaders, future industry leaders. And one of the things that we'd encourage everyone to do is actually sign up for What is Open RAN, which is available at tip.academy. It's absolutely free. It's about a 90-minute course for you guys. It took me about 3 hours because I'm not an engineer, but I got there eventually, and it's a great way of understanding the kind of basics of what we're doing. Because once again, it's all about having those independent standards and all, facilitating that kind of acceleration of growth. Because all the courses are based on real-world deployment. We've worked very, very well with the market, and it's something we'll talk about later on, is about how we actually have developed the courses and what we look at in that kind of way. The benefits are dead simple. They make sense across for everyone, really. First of all, it's about enabling market knowledge and looking at kind of process comprehension. Really basic stuff, but really, really important, because once again, in our jobs day to day, we kind of go, I'm here, I'm here. It's actually about just stripping back and really enabling teams to understand what it is they need to do, because then that means that they can identify current and future trends, where things are going, what is it they need to be doing, and they have that proof of language. It's a thing we talk a lot about within training, is that commonality of language for people who have taken training courses and understand these areas. And it's about speaking the same language, which then, as I say, helps you attract more people when you're going out working on open run projects, because you're using the right terminology, you're understanding what the challenges are, what the opportunities are, and ultimately getting to that point that we all want to get to, which is about saving time, money, resources, all those areas in order to achieve your goals and KPIs efficiently. And then ultimately to create that community. That's what TIP is. We're a community at the end of the day. We're here to help you guys get to where you need to be, and training is another part of that. It's another area that we want to help you with going forward. We did some soft trials last year. The good news was people felt it was a unique program they couldn't get anywhere else. That goes back to what I was saying about relevant training being so important. It's not just about it happening, it's about something that they can actually use. And that's why so many people said they felt it was focused for them. They felt it was something that they met. And they valued it, which is really, really good. Since I actually did this presentation, wrote it up, we're now at 100% of the test students are all signed up and are paying students within their organizations now to take part in the Open RAN course. And they're actually recommending it throughout channels. We're getting recommendations through. 84% of people felt that they would recommend taking the course to colleagues and to associates. And that's throughout the supply chain. We have a lot of people that we're working with who are now asking us, oh, can I take this to people who are working in my supply chain, because they don't really understand what it is that I want them to do, because they don't sit in this kind of open technology world. So they're actually using our training now to get their partners to actually understand what it is they want from them. And once again, it's a really valuable resource in that way. It's delivered in a very simple way. Funnily enough, launching a training program during a global pandemic was a bit challenging in terms of doing face-to-face learning. So at the moment, everything was e-learning modules. As I say, they're super simple, really easy to engage with. You basically fill in a form, you get access through our portal, and you can go in that way. But going forward, there will be instructor-led training, which we'll be holding virtually and physically, as we are today, because it's great to be back doing these things. But equally, in other regions of the world, some people want it to be virtual because the cost of getting to training in certain regions is much higher than it is for us in Europe. I think my flight here yesterday cost me £42. Thank you, Ryanair, although it was an awful airline. And ultimately, we'll get to that point of being an accredited certification program. We're still very much a baby program at the moment. We launched 4.5 weeks ago. I've managed to get one program accredited in my past, in my old role. It's going to take me about 2 years, I think, to get this one accredited. It took me 7 years to get the last one done. But this is actually much more compact and much more direct. And the fact that on a governmental level, so many governments across the world at the moment are actually asking us, how can we take part in the training, because we need to get up to speed on a regional basis as to what it is that actual open technologies are doing. So that should help us get accredited much quicker, to be honest with you. I just want to give you an idea of what the learning courses are that are available. It's the question I get asked the most at the end of calls. This is the first time I managed to present this, where you can't just see the upper part of my body. We have apprentice level, which is actually getting people into it. So that is your things like fundamentals, what does the income system look like, what's security meant to be, all those kind of basic things, all the way through to professional level, where you're actually looking at CI/CD in Open RAN and kind of radio units in depth. Because once again, the training programs need to represent everyone within the market, because, as I say, when you're doing training, there's two things you can be. You can either be someone who's learning, or you can be someone who's remembering. And we want the training program to really reflect all of those. And ultimately, we will have what's called an architect level of training for people moving forward. This just gives you an idea of, it's a blurb from the start of a training program, right? And it's dead simple. What we want you to know is, upon completion, you'll be able to do this. These are the topics that are going to be covered. It's as simple as that. You'll then work your way through it. There's checkbacks all the way through, so you can make sure your comprehension and your understanding is working for you. And then at the end, there's the test. You can take the test multiple times. You won't get in trouble. It's not like at school. The idea is it's about training you and actually getting you to the point where you feel confident enough to talk, and then you can prove to people that you've understood it, and you can actually go out into the market and use that training to really understand all those areas. The FAQs, which I get asked quite a lot, so I just put them into this. Do I need to be a TIP participant? You don't. TIP members do receive a discount, as you would expect from a membership organisation like us. However, you don't need to be a member. As I say, if there's people within your supply chain that you're interested in doing the training, we can organise it for them. We organise it on individual and company levels. Can I contribute to TIP Academy? This is something that's really, really important for us. We're about building up a community at TIP. It's what I do all day. I spend my entire day on the phone asking people, what's your problem? Where do you need to be? How can we get you there? And training is no different in that way, because once again, we want that feedback into it. If you feel like there's people that you know, if you feel like there's courses you'd like to see going forward, because this isn't just Open RAN, we're going to be doing courses across Open Wi-Fi, Open OPT, what's the next one we've got? Open Wi-Fi, Open OPT, and we're doing the governmental policy one at the moment, which we're just designing up next week. I'm in Spain. But if there's any ideas that you've got, let us know. We're here to reflect what the market wants. That's what TIP does. So do speak to us and do come to us. And as I say, a lot of people have come and said, well, I'm already a professional working in Open RAN. Why do I need to do the training? As I say, those points that I said earlier, it's about showing the market that you are actually competent. Having an independent body give you those kind of qualifications, that kind of backup is so, so important. But also, as I say, there's learning and there's remembering. They're two separate things, but they're actually the same thing when it comes to training. I still do training programs all the time, and I've been a trainer for, how old am I now? A long time, let's put it that way. Because it's really important that you go through these things going forward. So that is the TIP Academy. I wanted to keep it as quick as possible because I know it's lunchtime. But if you have any questions, I'm available around. If you have any questions now, I'm happy to answer them. I will hand over to you. Excellent. Silence. Should we go and eat? David Hutton, I recognize you. So it's literally, the courses are designed from every level throughout the ecosystem. So we literally go from what we call the apprentice level all the way up to architect. So that covers everyone from C-level suite all the way down to people just coming into the organization. The programs are all being developed at the moment as we speak. But it is designed so everyone gets the support they need, because once again, that's what TIP's here to do. Yes, were you on the OPT call the other day? I was on the project group call the other day, and I got asked exactly the same question. Yes, is the short answer. We're developing the curriculum. We're at a meeting in Madrid next week to discuss it. Yeah, so it is in the pipeline for us. As I say, the first thing I'd encourage everyone to do is go to tip.academy. I'll be sat around this afternoon if anyone wants me to show it. You can literally put in your email address. You then get sent the first course for free. And it's a great way of giving you an idea of what it looks like and how it works. Within OPT, is there a specific area you're interested in there?
No, I'm in that group.
Yeah.
So I'm not looking for extra work, don't get me wrong. But if there's anything to contribute, that's fine.
Fantastic. Yeah, let's have a chat. Perfect. No. No, so the OPT is not in there at the moment. As I say, at the moment we've focused on Open RAN. It's kind of the cool kid in class within the open technology market. OPT is the next one planned, followed by Open Wi-Fi, and we have governmental policy training that we're also working on that will probably come out quite quickly. Okay. Well, in that case, I shall thank you all for your time. If there are any questions, I'm the guy in the tie. I'm literally the only guy in a tie today because I was told I was meant to wear a tie. If I'm making that mistake again. And have a great lunch. Thanks, guys.